This presentation is to accompany the book Consumer Behavior, a Primer by Gail. Sex has always been a part of advertising, but the use of sex in advertising, before and after marketers learned about and adopted Freudian tenets, is different. It was people like Ernest Ditcher who translated Freudian theory to its application in marketing. Pre-Freud, roughly prior to World War II, the use of sex in advertising might be described as romantic. The use of sex in advertising pre-Freud might be described as subtle and gentle. Pre-Freudian advertising was perhaps more implicit than explicit. We can see the change in sex in advertising after marketers embraced Freudian principles shortly after World War II. We see a gradual change to more explicitness. We see a greater use of symbolism. Really, what do guns have to do with selling sweaters? From a Freudian perspective, guns can be phallic symbols. The lady models are carrying abnormally, almost absurdly, large guns. This shoe advertisement features a gun, which has little to do with shoes. Stockings are advertised with a gun. In the decades of the 1960s and 1970s, sex in advertising is made provocative by what is not shown and covered by soap suds, or what is covered by books, or by the arrangement of the model's hair. In the 1960s, Noxzema Comfort Shave seductively proclaimed, "Take it off, take it all off."
Nothing takes it off like Noxzema medicated shave. 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 Take it off. Take it all off. Shave. Take it off. Take it all off. Noxzema. Take it off. Take it all off. Shave. Take it off. Take it all off. Noxzema. Nothing takes it off like. Take it off. Take it all off. Shave. Nothing takes it off like. Take it off. Take it all off. Noxzema. Nothing takes it off like. Take it off. Take it all off. Shave. Nothing takes it off like. Noxzema medicated shave.
In the 1970s, National Airlines began a $9.5 million advertising campaign aimed at personalizing its services. Ads picturing a lovely smiling stewardess, flight attendants were called stewardesses in the 1970s, proclaimed, "Fly me." National Airlines painted the models' names on the noses of some of its planes and passed out "Fly me" buttons for the ladies to wear on their uniforms. Some saw the invitation to fly me as more than flying in an airplane. This is Cheryl, with an open invitation to consumers to fly me. In this 1980s ad campaign, the male model featured in the ad is having a steamy conversation with the lady from whose bed he has just left. He has to return to his apartment to get ready for work. The lady tells him that she can still smell the cologne, like he was still there. That puts a big smile on his face. Calvin Klein was not shy about using sex to sell jeans. This is in the 1980s. Nor was Calvin Klein shy about using sex to sell perfumes and colognes. 15-year-old Brooke Shields breathlessly uttered, "Nothing gets between me and my Calvins."
You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing.
Calvin Klein jeans.
Featuring men in underwear is one way to sell underwear. It must have worked well because here we see it again. In case you can't figure out what's being advertised in this ad, it's the mattress. It has great support for your back. Tickle antiperspirant beats all the other antiperspirants because it is better. The fact that it's shaped differently from all the competitors is only a minor point, isn't it? The fact that the Tickle packaging might be phallic shaped has nothing to do with it, right? Maybe there's more to the packaging than just a container to hold stuff. Maybe the packaging is appealing to and communicating with the consumer's unconscious. Or maybe we should just get our heads out of the gutter. In Freudian theory, there are three components to personality: the id, the ego, and the superego. The id is the biological innate component that is completely unconscious. The id demands immediate gratification and is able to obtain immediate gratification by using wish fulfillment or fantasy. The ego develops as another part of the personality. The ego is realistic. The ego uses problem solving, a type of thinking called secondary process thinking. The third component of Freudian personality theory is the superego. It houses all the do's and don'ts, shoulds and should-nots. The id and the superego have unrealistic and opposing demands and goals. The id is only interested in fun and pleasure, and the superego is interested in perfection, always doing the right thing as society and culture has taught you. The ego is more realistic and judicious. Recognizing the unrealistic demands of the id and the superego, marketers have created ads for their products that simultaneously appeal to and appease Freudian personality components. This product is so rich it's almost sinful. If the product is sinful, the id would charge right in, but the superego would forbid it. So making it almost sinful appeases the superego, and making it rich appeals to the id. A lady is prim and proper. This appeases the superego. But not being too much of a lady, by breaking the rules and being unconventional, appeals to the id. Being nice is what the superego demands. Equating naughty with being nice tickles the id's fancy. When you violate the do's and don'ts of the superego, you feel guilty. This ad appeals to the id to enjoy the guilt. The ad proclaims that the real sin would be never experiencing it. Of course, the superego would not want you to commit a sin, so a sin can be avoided by experiencing the product, which simultaneously satisfies the id's cravings. Taboo is something that is not culturally or socially acceptable, is frowned upon by the superego. But a taboo is also fun and pleasurable and appeals to the id. Spelling taboo as in the brand name TABU allows the id to commit a taboo without the harsh overtones from the superego. The Lexus satisfies the demands of both the id and superego. United Airlines appeals to both the id and the superego. This product allows the consumer to be the conscientious perfectionist demanded by the superego, while allowing the fun-loving, devilish id to simultaneously show itself. The animalistic id and the civilized superego. This product is all animalistic id. This is the civilized superego way to handle your id-like aggressions. The consumer's superego and ego will tell you the logical, rational, conscious reasons for the purchase. But the consumer's id knows the unconscious, irrational, illogical, and taboo-tainted real reasons for the purchase. Of course, the consumer would deny having these real reasons. After all, they are unconscious. Some ads can be interpreted to appeal to the id. Poison is bad. The id likes bad things. This product appeals to the id. Pleasure is what the id craves. Magic is unrealistic. It appeals to the id. Fantasy is id thinking. Some ads can be interpreted to appeal to the superego. Your superego would want you to give blood. It will help save lives. It is what you should do. Making a contribution to the united way to help others less fortunate than you is fulfilling a demand of the superego. It is what you should do. Give of yourself. Give of your time. Your superego would concur that this is the right thing to do. Ads can be interpreted to appeal to the ego. When you buy a car, the ego would direct you to rationally and logically select the car that rates best on the most critical functional characteristics. Whether the car is cool or not is not a rational consideration. The ego would consider it realistic and logical to eat oatmeal. It's nutritious and it's good for you.